Hello parents, this is Mr. Vangerud and I will be your child's algebra teacher this year. And the purpose of this video is to just explain to you a little bit about how the classroom routines work and how what you can expect from the algebra class and how your student will be participating in it. And the first thing I should tell you is that this is what we call a flipped math classroom. This is now going to be the third year that we've done this, and it's had good results with students, and parents have seemed to like it as well. And what does it mean? What is a flipped math classroom? Perhaps you've heard of it by now because it's been around for a little while. You know how you were taught math in school, and I was taught this way too. The teacher would stand up and take the new lesson and deliver a lecture on the new lesson, and would go over several different examples of the types of problems that are on there. And then with a certain amount of time left in class, maybe 10 minutes or so, you'd be given a homework assignment, and then you'd have time to get started on that assignment. Then you would have to take that assignment home and finish it at home that evening, where there may or may not have been someone who was available to help you with it. And so because we live in a technology age where it is possible to pre-record the classroom portion of the lecture, we flip the way that classroom works, and they watch the lecture at home for the next day. I have pre-recorded all the lessons and tried to keep those videos at around 10 minutes in length. And so then they get the instruction at home, and then the next day when they come, they work on problems in class, and they get almost the whole time to ask questions and to get the problems done and to gain mastery over the topics. And so that's basically how it works. Then the second thing I'll talk about in here, after we tell you a little bit more about how the course works, is the opportunity to work at your own pace. Students do have that opportunity here in this class. And then we'll talk about the proficiencies, which are super learning targets, you might say. We have 19 identified proficiencies in algebra that are so foundational to success, not only in this course, but in courses that will take after algebra in their math curriculum at the high school, that they have to master those and pass them twice, or else they will not be able to go on to the next course until they have done that. So a little bit more about all three of these things now. The basic course, how it works. And I already told you a little bit about how the flipped model works. The course revolves around learning targets. Each lesson has one, sometimes two learning targets. And so a learning target, when we were growing up, they most frequently refer to these as objectives. These are like the short-term goals for each lesson. The learning target puts it in language that's a little bit more understandable to young people, and that's the main difference. And so this learning target for the first lesson in the course is I can translate between words in algebra. So what they would do is they would watch the instructional video for the lesson and the learning target at home. And then after they've watched that, taken any notes from it, had a chance to look at the example problems that are done on the video, they will take a learning target quiz on the computer, which will be scored immediately, so they'll know how they did. And not only will they know how they did, I will know how they did on it. And the next day when they come into class, I will have all the data from everyone that took the quiz, and I'll have some idea of how to direct the instruction for the day. It may be identified that there are some kids that maybe only got 2 out of 6 on the quiz. Well, that kind of tells me that they probably need some attention right away so that they can get some instruction and get some mastery over the topic. And so that's the intent of that. That's the intent of the quiz. It's not necessarily going to hurt their grade if they don't do well on it, because they will have the chance to go back and take it again after they've gotten some instruction on it. So it's meant as a formative assessment tool to see how well do they know it now, And then how do I have to intervene as a teacher to make sure that they understand it. If they ace the quiz, they can get started right away on the book assignment, which they will work on in class. And then we're available to help them during that class period. They can ask any questions. They'll have a large block of time to work on those problems. Most days they should be, if they did what they were supposed to do at home, they will have no trouble finishing the book work in class. So that really points out the importance of watching the videos and taking the learning target quizzes at home the night before. Because if they don't take care of that home, I have a classroom set of iPads. They'll have to watch it when they come to class the next day. They'll have to take the quiz, and we may be halfway through the class before I have that information that I would have right away if they do that at home. So that's the value of that. It's a real positive. It's meant to be a helpful tool for everybody, and so hopefully they'll be able to get in the pattern of watching the video, taking the quiz at home. And I understand that life gets busy, a lot of stuff going on. That's one reason I'm trying to keep the videos short, and the quizzes shouldn't take them that long. And there may be nights when they aren't able to do it, and that don't stress over that. What I'm concerned about is a pattern of I'm not watching the videos or taking the learning target quizzes at home. If that's the regular practice, there's going to be some struggle, and so hopefully they'll get into that pattern. And anything you can do to encourage them to do that would be great. And if there's no internet at home, or you have some internet problems, we'll create the opportunity for them at school to do that. And so if that is a concern, we'll work with you for a solution to that. The second thing that we're talking about here is working at your own pace. And some students will find, particularly at the beginning of the course, where the topics are partially review and partially new, some students will find they can master those learning targets faster, and so they would have the opportunity to work ahead. So for instance, if they came prepared to class, they'd watched the video the night before, they'd taken the quiz, and they'd done really well on the quiz, so they get going right away on the work. They might finish that work with time to spare in the classroom. Well, I have a classroom set of iPads, and students who finish their work early could watch the next video at school and even take the quiz if they have time at school. So then that responsibility would be taken care of for the day. And some kids really appreciate this because they might have practices or other activities in the evening, and so that helps them stay on top of things. Mastery is more important than speed. So if students are demonstrating mastery of learning targets, they can continue to work ahead. If they are running into difficulties, then you got to slow them down and make sure they're understanding the material as well as possible. On some days, particularly block days, all students will work on more extensive problem solving in which they will apply the acquired mastery of the learning targets. That's an important skill. They have a chance to work collaboratively sometimes and sometimes individually on those types of problems, and so it's a good way to really extend their knowledge and help them make connections between the different topics. Third, we have proficiencies. And as I said earlier, the course revolves around learning targets. Each lesson has one, sometimes two learning targets. And 19 of these learning targets are so foundational that they must be passed twice by each student in order to advance to the next course. And they are front-loaded toward the beginning. There's more in the first two trimesters than there are in the third. And that's by design to make sure students have ample time to master these. So if they haven't passed all of the first trimester ones and we're in the second trimester, they still get to keep working on that and taking the quizzes for that to pass that all the way through to the end of the year. And if you want to see a list of the proficiencies, the first learning target video, or print off the iPad permission form, there are links on the email that I that I sent you that contained the link for this video as well. So you can access those from there. And that's my email and my voicemail if you need to contact me. Just a quick word about some of these. You might wonder, where are these videos? And there's a great learning management system that we're using this year called Edmodo. And the second day of school, we'll be setting up student accounts in class. I'll have them get them enrolled, and all the videos and assignments and quizzes will be posted on that Edmodo class site. There is also a chance for you to enroll, so you can follow your students' progress on that. And I'll be sending home some information about how that's done. But it's a really neat feature that this has, so you can kind of watch and see how they're doing. And I think you'll enjoy that feature as well. Then we have a subscription to what's called mangahigh.com. There's a great deal of research that shows that computer gaming increases math knowledge and achievement if it is based on math problems. And this company, Manga High, has done just that. They've taken math problems and turned them into games, which are very engaging to students. And this is an extra thing. This is a way to get some extra practice with certain topics and concepts and learning targets they might be struggling with. And so it has a great record of success, a lot of research to back this. I was skeptical at first of this, but I had a chance to witness their presentation and see what they do, and we think this is going to be a very, very helpful tool and engaging to the students as well, where they may not even be aware that they're getting math practice at some points on there. And it does give feedback, and if they struggle, it takes them out of the game and has them do some remedial work. So we think it's going to be a very good additional tool that we can use to help students succeed. And I have already set up those accounts for your student. I'll be giving them their logins and for that, and they'll probably be trying that out even the first night after the first day of class. So this is the basics of this, and if you have any questions, you know my email, bangorj@district112.org, and my voicemail, 952-556-7570. So you're free to get in contact with me, and I really want your child to succeed. I want them to do well. We emphasize a growth mindset, where we believe everybody can improve, and that's the goal, is to get better each day than you were the day before. And that's what our focus is. So I look forward to getting to know you and your child, and I'm sure I will see you at some point, several times throughout the year perhaps. Thank you very much.